The UAW is orchestrating the removal of the CEO of Stellantis. Now, I think he should have been removed a long time ago. So on that front, I agree with UAW, but it is a little bit concerning that UAW can essentially remove a CEO. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. If you're wondering what's going on in the background here and why the sound is so crap, my apologies. I've forgotten my microphone and I'm here in California with the family, with Jack, Cal, and Shanny. And well, she wanted to be here to see Disney, of course, because it's her thing. She loves Disney, and she's actually never been to the new Disneyland here. There's a specific one she wants to go to, and also, anyway, to have a bit of fun and a bit of enjoyment, even though she is unfortunately in a fair bit of pain as well. So, guys, what am I talking about here? What is going on here? Well, the UAW are voting for Stellantis in the United States to strike. Their sales have fallen by about 50% this year. They say the wording here is pretty unprofessional, but I'm going to have to tell you what they've said. They said they want to shit can Carlos. So Stellantis is suing the UAW, aiming to hold them financially responsible if there is a strike. Basically, Stellantis are saying, we have given in to all your demands, your crazy demands, right? And this is what's happened. I mean, guys, I'm sorry, I hate to say I told you so, but the UAW, it's not really helping Stellantis. If you work at Stellantis, you're going to lose your job. This company is going to go out of business. Just look at what's happening. It's very clear. This is not hyperbole in any sense of the imagination. I think most commenters would now agree with me that the UAW is not helping Stellantis, never has, and never will. Getting rid of the CEO, it's good, but they should have done that years ago. It's too late now. Anyhow, there is a war of words going on here between the CEO of Stellantis, between the dealerships and the UAW. It's like this kind of triumvirate of bad, just bad. The crazy thing is that, Tesla is basically outselling, they are outselling now the Stellantis entire group. You're looking at Alfa Romeo, Ram, Dodge, all these car companies, Jeep, Chrysler, they're all dying. And it is sad. Now, the UAW is closer to striking at Stellantis as a supermajority of members at the Los Angeles Parts Distribution Center have voted in favor of requesting a strike authorization if the company doesn't follow through on commitments made in the contract signed last year. This ramps up the pressure on the group, on Stellantis, which has been engaged in a public war of words with the union for weeks and a public war of words with Stellantis dealerships, particularly Jeep and Ram and Dodge dealerships. Their sales have been, like I said, down 50%. They're not profiting on a lot of the cars that they're selling. They're having to sell them at big discounts. They've got huge amounts of inventory, which costs them money to have these cars sitting on their lots. They've got to clean them. They've got to mow the grass around them. Now, in all seriousness, it does cost them a lot of money to have these vehicles sitting there. It's a disaster. A lot of dealerships are losing money. It's not just China. I mean, we know in China, what are they saying now? 50%. More than 50% of dealerships are losing enormous amounts of money. I think it's 60% actually. Now, I believe the same numbers, in fact, worse, is the case for Stellantis dealers in the US. And that's why Stellantis dealers have they've been forced to publicly call out Stellantis' CEO. They said the reason they're calling him out and the reason their sales have gone down is for short-term profits. The company just focused on short-term profits, not long-term profitability and stability. And therefore, they're in crisis. Guys, I told them this years ago. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the savior, but I know there's others. I know you guys did as well. You guys in America, I know you were saying the same things. I know other YouTubers have probably done the same thing as well. This was so obvious. Stellantis were crowing about, well, look at our record profits last year. Wow, we're doing so well. Great. The CEO enriches himself. Highest paid automotive CEO last year, outside of like lucid insanity, but the highest paid automotive CEO makes, and I made a video on this, no one really watched it, that I said it was insane that this dude was making nearly $40 million US for doing what? Record profits, right? Short-term gain, long-term pain. In my opinion, for a business to succeed, delayed gratification is important. It's essential to the success of that business. You can't just go for the short-term gain. Otherwise, long-term, you're bankrupt. Jeep in China, bankrupt. Jeep elsewhere, probably bankrupt. Probably, let's be honest. Last night's vote for the UAW was the first time union members got to weigh in on the situation, and the UAW said, as the grievances proceed, more UAW locals at Stellantis will be holding strike authorization votes soon. Does this strike help these dealerships? Honestly, I don't see how it really will help them. I don't understand this, I guess, to the minute details that others might, but I don't see how this would really benefit them. UAW President Fain didn't mince words as he publicly called for the ouster of Stellantis CEO Tavares. He said if an automaker in the plant did as piss poor of a job as Tavares, they would be fired. It's time for Stellantis to shit can Carlos. What about yourself, mate? I mean, what about the CEO of the UAW? What part has he played in this? He certainly played a part in this downfall. There's no question. Has he helped Stellantis? Well, it doesn't matter how you look at this. Stellantis are doing terribly in America, and the UAW should also accept some level of responsibility. They can't just walk away from this saying, oh, we did nothing wrong. We made money. We did nothing wrong. This wasn't our fault. I'm not saying it is. Stellantis are the primary responsible company, the business themselves, but the UAW have played a part. All the striking that's already gone on, all these negotiations clearly have hurt the company. They haven't helped them. So anyway, getting back to this story, this is a very strong escalation of rhetoric. Fain said Stellantis made a contractual promise to invest in America, and we are not going to let them weasel out of it. Our members won those investments during the stand-up strike, and we will strike again to make Stellantis keep the promises if we have to. What Stellantis will do is just close these factories. The striking, it'll just cause really a faster closure of some of these businesses. Ultimately, Stellantis isn't giving up without a fight. As CNBC is reporting, the company has sued the UAW as well as its local for the Los Angeles Parts Distribution Center. In a message obtained by the publication, it suggested any action would be an unlawful strike and they'd be held liable for the revenue loss and other damages resulting from lost production. It went on to say a strike would be a breach of contract and the automaker should be awarded monetary damages if union members walk off the line. The latest dust-up follows a protest march at a stamping plant in Michigan and an accusation that the automaker is conducting a robocall campaign to tell tens of thousands of UAW members to vote no on a potential strike authorization vote. The rhetoric and threats can be traced back to two contentious issues, says Carscoops: the decision to delay investments at the Belvedere Assembly and the plan to move Dodge Durango production to Canada. No one's even buying the Dodge Durango anyway. The automaker has previously taken issue with these claims, saying they haven't announced where the next generation SUV would be made. However, their agreement with the UAW called for it to be built in Detroit starting in 2026. Like I said, Dodge Durango. Stellantis has previously said delays are fine as the agreed to language expressly allows the company to modify product investments at employed levels. The automaker has also claimed investments and timelines are not absolute guarantees, despite Fain wrongly and repeatedly saying that they are. And the automaker Stellantis is correct. Now, do I agree with Stellantis is in principle emotionally? No, I don't. But Stellantis are correct. I do think they'll win this and the UAW will be forced to back down. But honestly, this is not going to play out well for anyone. That's the simple truth here. 67% of all EVs sold worldwide this year have been from China. Stellantis, I don't think, care about that. The UAW doesn't care about that. They're not focusing on what really matters here. Think about the future. Think about what people will be buying in 2030. That's what the company needs to focus on. It can potentially, maybe, have some sort of Houdini act, resurrect itself from the dead, possibly. But at this point in time, what I see are very strong parallels with what happened here in Australia, right? Google that. What happened to automakers here? What happened to GM? What happened to Ford? GM is called Holden here. What happened to Ford in Australia? The automotive industry in Australia no longer exists. It used to be strong. It doesn't anymore.